Alrighty, I think I am live. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino. Welcome back to my channel, the number one place for today's entrepreneur, no matter what they're selling or who they're selling it to come to learn about not just content marketing, but specifically content marketing for conversions. Because if you're doing content marketing and nothing's happening, you're wasting time. And where applicable, you're wasting money too. So my channel has weekly long form videos that come out that can help you anyway. My channel also has shorts coming out up to around twice a day. So all of that can help you too, but you are welcome to join us for the 30-day social media growth challenge. We're on day 10 of the social media growth challenge. This is not an engagement pod. I always have to say that. It's not follow for follow, like for like sort of thing. Whenever you do things like that, or if you were ever tempted to do things like that, if you're an entrepreneur, it's a big waste of your time because social proof followers can't deposit money in your bank unless they're buying from you, right? So if they're not your ideal customer or shopping for your ideal customer, then it's a big waste of your time. So this is actually the 30-day challenge is all about steadily growing the social media following that you have for your brand or your business, getting your brand-based community wide and deep so that you can build up the know, like, and trust factor with the one member of that community at a time. And then when those folks, if they're qualified leads, and they should be if you're doing things right, when they're ready, willing, and able to, they're more likely to buy from you. So make sure that if you're watching this video, either live or on the replay, do me two quick favors. Hashtag live, hashtag replay in the comments section down below. I always like to see who's watching when. It does matter. I'll engage back. Number two, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up because even on the replay, it's going to have the algorithm be more likely to push this out to my subscribers who haven't seen this yet. So if you have, okay, so the point of the 30-day social media growth challenge is every day I do a quick teaching about 5 minutes. I address any quick questions that you may have. And then you go into, if you want to go for the prizes for the challenge, the rules are in the Facebook group, Content Marketing for Conversions. I have the link for that down below. I also have the link pinned and in the comments, or I'm sorry, pinned in the comments. And then in the show notes or the description down below for every video in the challenge, I have the challenge replays. So if you missed any of the days, we're on day 10, but it doesn't matter. If you want free coaching one piece at a time, that's going to help you do content marketing as an entrepreneur and get more conversions. Well, gosh, go watch the videos in the playlist. Okay. We'll ultimately have 30 of them there. Okay. So, but if you want to know about the rules for any prizes for this challenge, that'll be in the Facebook group Content Marketing for Conversions. Hey, what's going on, Miss Lenore and Miss Laura? Good to see you. And then also today I posted a bunch of resources in the Facebook group, all free, that can help you to deal with what we're going to talk about today. And if you have your free 30-day social media growth challenge playbook, if you're one of my students, you're going to want to get that out and take some notes for today. Today's day 10. We're going to talk about detoxification. I'm going to let you know what that is in a minute. If you don't have it yet and you want it, stick around to the end. I'll explain how you can get it for free. Okay, so like I said, today's teaching is all about detoxification, aka dealing with trolls and bots. Okay. If you're getting attacked while you're doing your content marketing, whether it's live, hey, what's going on, Mike from Valley Smithy? Did Tinkerbell have her baby cap yet? If you're going live and you're getting attacked by trolls, spam bots, or both, or you post content marketing like what you're doing at least once a day in this 30-day challenge, and you find that you're getting like hater comments, troll comments, spam type comments, maybe you're not getting any hate, but you're getting like spam bots in the comments or in the DMs or direct messages on Instagram or via message or in the inbox on TikTok or whatever. I'm going to tell you what to do to deal with it. But I'm also going to let you know these things can rear their ugly heads as you do content marketing on behalf of your business. And I want you to be ready so that you can fend it all off. And again, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It really, really does help me out. Oh, hey, Mike. So he says she did. It's been a long couple of hours, and oh, calf didn't make it. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. And God bless you for coming here while we're live after that happening, dude. Whew, okay. Woo, shake it off. Okay. So if you're in our Funnel Dynasty group, I know everybody send Valley Smithy some love. That sucks. That's awful. Oh, you're welcome, Mike. We're all sorry. Lenore is saying sorry. I know. If you're in our Funnel Dynasty group, with one-on group coaching every single week, a 7-module course, and a jaw-dropping 24 bonuses, then you know what we do. I've shared some of these resources before, and we even have a toolbox loaded with resources for you on this and many, many other content marketing issues. So that's like my one big offering. If you want more information about Funnel Dynasty, you can go to funneldynasty.com. So in the meantime, if you're like, I've dealt with trolls and haters and spam bots and stuff like that before, and or I'm really afraid to do a lot of content marketing. Like, I know I'm not going to get on anybody's radar screen with my brand and its offerings if I don't do it, but I'm afraid that it's going to happen. Or it sometimes happens to me, Stacey. What's up? Hang out, because in a minute I'm going to tell you what you can do with your content marketing otherwise that might reduce the amount of spam, haters, and trolls. But some of it's going to be inevitable, especially the more you publish, especially the bigger your following is on social media for your brand. So look, if you need help fending off trolls and or spam bots in terms of like your presence on different social media platforms, if you haven't already, again, join the Content Marketing for Conversions group on Facebook, because today, before I even went live, I shared like a whole bunch of resources in that group that are step-by-step, click-by-click. It'll show you how to protect yourself both in front of the scenes in terms of comments that you'll get, and then behind the scenes, like with respect to inboxes and such like that. I shared resources for how to do it for a Facebook page, how to do it for a Facebook group that's yours, you're an admin of, as well as on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So get in that group if you're not already. It's free, and let me save you a ton of time getting yourself protected. So instead of getting into the click by click of it all, I'm just going to hook you up with those resources. But what I'm going to say is this: the more content that you publish over time, the more on the radar screen you're going to be on the good, the bad, and the ugly that's out there anyway. If you, however, have a prodigiously stocked spam filter, on each of the platforms that you're going to be publishing content, whether it's for this challenge or not, if you've stocked up your spam filters with words and terms that they are going to screen out so that people don't even send you stuff in your inbox, or comment with vulgarity, hate speech, that sort of thing, well, then of course it's going to cut down the amount of hate that you're going to experience, and or spammy comments and or spam bots that you're going to get anyway. It's going to cut it down from a dull roar to a trickle. So, end of story. Now, let's say a spam bot, however, manages to get through the digital razor wire that you set up to protect yourself and your brand-based community, right? Because you might say, well, I don't care, I have thick skin. But the people who are following you regularly to irregularly, they don't want to see ugly stuff either. And then they come to your defense. And then, like, if it's a spam bot, it might not say anything, or it might have like programs and it's running. And or if it's a troll or a hater or somebody that's just mentally ill, then they're just going to fight back. And so then you have the white knights protecting you, the brand or the brand leader, from the trolls. You know how you don't have that problem to begin with? You set up your spam filters appropriately on every platform that you're going to be on. And then if you see new hate speech, slur words, you forgot a curse word, but oops, it washed ashore, or there's some sort of spam bot that has like some phrase about Bitcoin, let's say, or whatever, you can go, oh, and you can copy and paste those words or terms into the spam filter. And I would say to do it, obviously, before you ban, block, bless, and release, report, whatever. Because once you do those activities, the comment will disappear. You don't want to forget. You want to stock up your spam filter and make it more strong, and then you can shut the other person off. Like on YouTube, you can also hide your channel from that user. If it's not a spam account, well, if it's a spam account, you don't want them to find you again. If it's an individual that just doesn't like you, doesn't like your content, is just mean, you're doing them a favor, right? But before they go, if they said anything that you're like, oh, I don't want other people to use this kind of hate speech against me or against each other in the comments, then you can load that into the spam filter and then get rid of them, right? So, are you really good? So, like, you're like, okay, that makes sense. If I hadn't thought about it before, you're right. I might not have even known, let's say, that there's spam filters on all of these platforms. They are, and they're getting better and better as time goes on. So, but once you've done that, there are things that you can do, especially as an entrepreneur, so that you're even less likely to have somebody say something ugly, and or you're less likely to have spam bots keep attacking you even as you grow over time, like over these 30 days and forevermore thereafter. Your account's going to get bigger and bigger. The activity over time is going to increase, and so spam bots might be sensitive to, like, say, once you get past, I don't know, I'll use me as an example. On YouTube, I don't know that I saw any spam anything until I hit 1,000 subs and higher. Then I started to see it, but I was like, oh, okay, prodigiously stocked spam filter. I really don't see much of anything appear anymore that's nuts. Occasionally, when I went on lives, very rarely, you'd see somebody creepy show up, and you can block them and keep going on a live. But if you're like, I don't even want to have that happen, it would shake my game. I'm scared about speaking out in public, and or I might just shut down. Well, the spam filter is going to do most, if not all, the heavy lifting for you. But what can you do with your content otherwise, in terms of creating it and or optimizing it, so that you reduce the amount of possibility that crazy people are going to see you and or spam bots are going to detect you? Well, I have to ask you, and if you're a Funnel Dynasty student, you know better. Are you really good in terms of your branding, your demographics, your psychographics, and your social listening? We talked about social listening yesterday, so listen to yesterday's replay and then I'll catch you up, okay? If you're good at those things, then you are not likely going to have everyone and their mother wash ashore, right, to easily see your content. And like we discussed in another previous day's video in this challenge, surprise, you actually don't want anyone and everyone seeing your content, because they're not all going to buy from you. They're not your ideal customer, and or they're not likely to be shopping for your ideal customer, right? We talked about Ari, who had 2.6 million followers on Instagram. And when she tried to launch her own merch line, she even did a bit of a launch warm up. It might not have been the best, but when she did it, 36 t-shirts was the minimum she had to sell. And she couldn't even do that because just not that many people cared about her or to self identify as members of her community. So having a huge following doesn't really do much for you. It doesn't mean people care about you, your brand, its offerings. They might just have found some content and thought you were funny and followed. So look, the more custom crafted and niche or niche, it said both ways, your content is, and or the more narrowed down and focused on a niche your long tail keywords and long tail hashtags are, in terms of the content you create and or how you optimize it for search and suggested traffic, guess what? The more likely it is that the right person's going to see your content as they pull it up, say, one piece at a time in search. The more likely it is that the algorithms will, on each of those platforms you're posting to, will crawl your content, get better, more data, more narrowed down data that's custom crafted. And so therefore the algorithms will do their digital matchmaking a little bit better in terms of suggested traffic. Is that the homepage on YouTube? Is it the For You page on TikTok? Is it on the Explore page on Instagram? You know what I mean? So the more your ideal customer sees you, and not just anybody and everybody that could be out there, the more likely it is that they're going to be aligned with you as a brand leader, with your brand, its branding, its offerings. The less likely you're going to have just anyone wash ashore. And that includes the lunatic fringe showing up and or people who just wouldn't be a good fit for what you do and who you do it for. So they're not going to be happy with you, and they may be immature and have no filter, right? So you don't want just anyone showing up because you're using overbroad keywords, overbroad hashtags, right? It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 views if none of them or almost none of them really care, right? So your spam filter will, so like, when you, like, if you're a Funnel Dynasty student, you know how to narrow down appropriately from the content you create subjectively to how you optimize it with keywords and hashtags and such objectively. I can't teach that here. It's not fair to them. But all I'll say is when you become more mindful and you narrow down more often, you will be more successful in having more of the right people see you, so that they're less likely, if we're talking about human haters and trolls, to reject you and what you're doing. And for those few people who, for whatever the reason, are not with the program and they're immature, your spam filter, when it's prodigiously stocked, will protect you from cussing, from hate speech, from sexually aggressive and or physically violently aggressive type speech anyway. They're not going to be able to land a comment. They're not going to be able to get in your inbox. So that said, spam bots do tend to crawl content that uses more broad keywords and hashtags where applicable. So the more broad and vanilla your keywords are in the captions, the more broad and vanilla your hashtags are when you go to optimize your content. I can say this, the more likely you're going to show up on a spam bot radar. The more likely they're going to try and attach comments to your stuff because you're more low-hanging fruit. Of course, I can't guarantee that you'll never get spam bots if you're always narrow and in terms of your keywords and hashtags, but this can help. And I know that some of my students are like, say they're posting a piece of content on Instagram, not a piece of Instagram story content that's only 10 hashtags, but you could do up to 30 on any other piece of content that you post to Instagram, including Reels. They might want to use up all 30 of their hashtags, but as they get to like the last couple hashtags, they're like, I don't have anything narrowed down and custom crafted. So you know what? I'll use a couple of broad hashtags because, hey, why not? It's like the lotto theme. Hey, you never know. It's like a Hail Mary pass. I'll use a couple of broad ones because maybe I'll show up in someone's feed, or like on Instagram, you have the hashtags have their own feeds, of course. So, but if you're using something broad, vanilla, basic for a hashtag, it's going to get buried in seconds because like millions of people are using it every day. But, you never know. It could be Kismet, baby, and someone will find you. So yeah, if you do that, that might bring spam bots. But again, my students know better. They know how to protect themselves from spam. So look, what are your action steps for today? Get into the Facebook group, Content Marketing for Conversions. See all the different articles that I shared in there and videos on YouTube that are step-by-step, click by click, pretty current, that will show you how to set up your spam filters to protect you and your social following from vulgarity, from threatening speech, from hate speech, and stuff like that. I will go so far as to say the hate speech that you allow to show up in your comments is the hate speech you condone. If you don't want to condone hate speech, you really need to prioritize getting those spam filters blocking spammy comments and hate speech. And yes, that will protect you in terms of your inboxes as well. So in front of the scenes and behind the scenes, get into the Content Marketing for Conversions Facebook group. I will spare you a whole lot of time, and you can just one platform at a time protect yourself and your brand-based community. And then number 2 action step specific to today is think about how you can narrow down the keywords and the hashtags that you're creating content with, like in the captions, and optimizing with hashtags. On a lot of platforms, hashtags matter, right? So think about that. You don't always want to use broad words. And then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, right? If you're in the challenge, when we go into replay mode, make sure that you share in the comments section, like what you've done and or the results that you've had from posting your daily deliverable over the last 24 hours. Increasingly, you'll see in the Facebook group, because you got to go there and post your proofs on today's challenge thread for day 10. So that's screenshots of your analytics. You really look at what people are saying in that group, especially over the last 48 hours. Anybody who's hung with it, they're like, not only am I growing, I'm getting sales. I am growing, I'm getting more emails and inbox inquiries. I am growing hundreds of percentage in terms of views, in watch times, and likes. I am increasing my social following. And I could cry because I didn't think it was this easy. And or I didn't know to look at my analytics, because that's helping me make better decisions and better content with every single day. If you want freebies galore to score more conversions, especially if you want the 30-day social media challenge playbook and you don't have it, you can go to don'tbeafakeguru.com and you can, hit the reply on the email giving you a goodie and say, hey, can I have the playbook too? I've been doing it every day. Okay. People have been getting the playbook every single day. And then step 5, I'm going to see you back here tomorrow. It'll be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for February 9th. We will be on day 11 of the challenge, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.